Hello everybody, this is Mr. Ubluck, and welcome back to another redstone video. Today I'm in a 3x3 corridor, and there's glass in the floor, but nothing underneath. That can only mean one thing. Let's hit this button. 3x3 glass door pops out of the floor. Then we do it again, and we only see that one piston arm there, but underneath, the piston gets pushed out, so it's seamless, and you can't tell there was ever a door here, except the glass. Now before I'm going to show you the redstone, I'm actually going to show you a few cool features. So if I don't drop that on the floor, because of the way this is, you can actually, if it wouldn't lag, you can put glass all along like this and blocks underneath it, and it never shows even though it goes over the redstone. You can't tell there's anything underneath. So if you want a stripe in your floor, this is the perfect door for you. Except maybe when it's closed, but we can gloss over that, right? So here is the redstone, and the first thing that might strike you is that's pretty big for a 3x3. And yes it is, but it's too wide. So for a normal 3x3, yeah, right, this would be pretty big, and I keep forgetting to make that glass. For a normal 3x3 this would be big, but as it's too wide and button operated, 180 blocks, which is the dimensions, isn't big at all. So yeah, let's just show you the pistons that kind of fire that you can't see. Without the lag, preferably server. That is one problem I have recording on a server. But yeah, the way I do this is making the bottom have exactly the same sequence on the closing and opening. So we push across, push back, push across, and push back. And that means we can use a button. And I have to generate a 1-tick pulse anyway, so just by drawing that up, we can make pistons spit out blocks and create T flip-flops and stuff. So it acts like a lever. Now I think buttons are a lot slicker, and you can also access them from both sides, and they're a lot easier to use because you don't need to set up an XOR or anything. So yeah, I just like the button activatedness, and I do not think this is the smallest. Well, it's the smallest, but I know that Yop made one this size before. But yeah, I didn't know that, and he hasn't shown me it. But I do trust him. He's a cool guy, so yeah, I believe him. And yeah, that's basically all I've got to show you. I guess I'll jump straight into the tutorial. Okay, so you're going to want to start with a 2x10 ditch with your floor level being here. So you've got a 2-block gap between the floor of your ditch and your floor. So yeah, you're going to need these materials. Any amount of building blocks, these can be anything you want as long as it's a solid block. These will also act as my door blocks, but it's really up to you for this. 16 sticky pistons, 18 redstone dust, 12 redstone repeaters, 2 slabs, they can be quartz, stone, brick, whatever you want, 2 normal pistons, 1 redstone comparator, 1 dropper, 1 hopper, 1 button, 3 redstone blocks, 1 glass of any colour, 1 activator rail, and optional is 1 furnace. This just means it will never break, so you can be sure you won't have to do any maintenance work. So yeah, we're actually going to start this now, and I'm going to show you exactly where the input is. So if you come down to the bottom right corner of your door, of your trench I mean, and build up 2 blocks and come across 2, come across 1, like that. That's where your input's going to be. So now we're going to build the door around it. So place a normal piston there, and a sticky piston facing upwards, then a building block, and then a normal piston. Oh, I broke the block. A normal piston facing back towards that other stuff with 1 block gap in between. And now if I just demonstrate to you what this will do, push this across to activate the door, and then when it's done we push this back just to make it seamless, because your glass will be on top of there. Now we're going to build the door frame. So Just build those 3 blocks and you should be able to work this stuff out from here. That's your door frame. Now the remaining pistons, you've got 3 on each side facing inwards. These act as your basically just very simple side block storage. And on the bottom, we just need 1 more. On the left, you have a piston facing to the right. And that's all. That's your layout, so just take a moment to copy that. Okay, and now we're going to get into the redstone. So the first thing you're going to do is come down to the right of this button and place a dust. That will go into a block with a repeater facing out of it. Then you're going to place a sticky piston facing up with a block on top. Then a repeater coming out of that block into the block there. And what this does is create a monostable. So we do that, it pushes up and leaves the block. That's exactly what we want. Now we're going to come over here and place 2 blocks like this and a block there, 2 repeaters, a dust and a block there. Now what this will do, I hesitate to show you because I have to reset it, but now we get this, and all that's left is to power that piston, and that's the whole closing. So yeah, that's good. So that should all be very simple stuff. Now we're getting on to the slightly more complex stuff. What we're going to do is place another sticky piston there. So you've got 3 on top of each other. That looks like it's going to be the side, but no, it's not. It's got a purpose. Put a redstone block on the face of that, and what this is going to do is power the piston when it's there. So if we do that, give it a 2-tick pulse, we can spit the blocks out. Or, alternatively, we can add another piston. And now if we give this a 3-tick pulse, it will spit the block out. Because what happens is they take 1.5 ticks to extend, but they retract instantly. So this extends, then retracts. And if we give it a 2-tick pulse, that will mean that it's extended for 2-tick pulse, basically it takes 1.5 ticks to extend, but then it only has half a tick of being extended before it's retracted, so the piston only gets a half-tick pulse, which of course is converted into a single redstone tick, which leaves the block where it is. So now we're actually going to do the double extender on top, and what this means is just a 1-tick repeater and a 4-tick repeater pointing into that top piston. That's not. So now we're going to do the double extender on top. Now to do this, we just come up to the left side, place a block, and 2 blocks like so. A 1-tick repeater will point into there, and a 4-tick repeater will come out of there. Now leave a gap, place a block here, come up, and that's another thing you need. Oh yeah, you need a lever as well. That's just a stick and a cobblestone, that shouldn't be too hard. And this means we get that. Now what this means is if we push a block in front of that dust, that will get power. If you take the block away, it will unpower. It may seem quite a complicated way of doing this, but it's the only way I could figure out of getting it to work. So now just come down to there, place a sticky piston with facing upwards with a block on its face. This is where the sand comes in, which I also forgot to mention. You need sand. I'll hopefully add annotations in so you don't feel stupid like I did. Sand there. So now we just need a way to power this, and how we're going to do this is like so. We go up, and that will power the bottom piston with a 1-tick pulse, spitting the block out. And then we're going to go up and place an upside down half slab there. And then you're going to go up 1 more, like that. That isn't a problem. And then you're going to place another slab there, and a block. I may have sounded slightly uncertain in that last clip. That is because I've actually done it differently to how I did it when I built this thing originally, but it does still work, so that isn't a problem. Now what we're going to do is come up here, place a 2-tick repeater pointing into that block, and dust there. And now what we get is that, and the bottom should all close now, and I'm getting random lag. So now the bottom should all work fine. And look at that, the whole bottom retracts and it's now seamless. Isn't that wonderful? Now all we have to do is the final retraction on the double. That is not too hard. So the way we're going to do this, the final retraction, is placing a 1-tick repeater there and a 2-tick repeater there. Can't be a 3-tick repeater because we need the pulse to remain the length that it is. Then we're going to place a block there. This is where our dropper hopper comes in. So if we grab those three things, grab the dropper, the hopper, and the comparator, and we place it like that with an item in it. That can be anything. I put glass in there. Probably one of your building blocks is better though. Then coming down here, all that's left is these side pistons, and to do that we're going to use the same trick as down below, where this 2-tick pulse will be shortened to a 1-tick pulse using a piston. So place the piston on the side of that redstone dot with a redstone block on its face. Then you're going to come down and place blocks like this with dust on them, and that should be your door completed. If we just fill these in to show you. So this is what happens if you don't have an activator rail. Just place it there, and what this does is forces the piston to update. There you see the door is closed and the door is open. Lovely. So that is all I'm going to show you today. I hope you like this. Just to mention something, I have kind of a few big projects in the works, so for now I'm just making a few random small things to give you something to watch and build, and I feel like these are more survival friendly, so you should be happy anyway. But for now, my name's been Mr. Uberduck. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.